Okay, guys, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, clicking on this vlog, and staying tuned for part one and part two. I'm really excited that I was able to drop this video for you guys, give you guys a taste and an insight to me traveling to another country and just living out one of my dreams, which is traveling. Thank you guys for coming to my channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also do not forget to leave some feedback in the comment section, maybe what you would like to see, what you liked about the vlog, just any type of feedback. I'll definitely be reading the comments. Thank you guys so much, and see you guys in my next video.
This is dope.
I love it so much. Thank you so much for all your help.
Sure thing.
So, is there anything you need help on?
How so?
Is there any way I can help you with your films?
Not really. I'm also focusing on the acting right now and just working on my craft overall.
It's really paying off. You're doing really good.
Not good enough. There's still so much to learn and so much to accomplish. And I know I'm still young. Sometimes I feel like I'm running out of time.
I understand, but everyone's time is different. I'm sure you'll make it. You have a heart of a champion.
I just wish I had started at least when I was in high school. I was really shy when I came back from Nigeria.
Oh, wow. How long were you there?
2 years. Pretty much did middle school out there.
I can imagine. What's it like?
You know, Mercedes, I haven't really told anybody about my time there yet.
Oh, okay. You don't want to talk about it? You don't have to.
Nah, it's cool. It's just... I don't know.
Udoka, people's stories are interesting. Personally, you're the first Nigerian American millennial that I know that lived in Nigeria, and I'd love to hear your story.
Okay.
Hey.
Alright, so I went to a school called Rise and Shine Secondary School. But there was nothing to rise or shine about with that trash ass school. Like, I was a JS1 student, 7th grade. And they had us wearing the ugliest uniforms ever. They had us wearing a white shirt with a brown tie and brown shorts. And it wasn't that brown skinned girl kind of brown that Kelly Rowland and Lupita and Young Gold be rocking. It's just so beautiful. No, instead it was the brown that was like crap. And then the sandals. Oh my goodness, the sandals. They had us wearing white socks with ugly ass brown sandals. You know those sandals that they be making kids wear in Nigeria? Them foo-foo ass sandals? Let me show you. These. You laughing? This is what they did to my black ass. Just from the just from the uniform alone, I knew that school was bad. Turbo sense of fashion. And then the feeding was terrible. Like a lot of times, the food will run out before it will reach us junior students. Honestly, sometimes the food just straight up nasty. I cannot fade. They serve the same nasty ass food damn near every day. In the morning, it was either tian bread or akam. And then for lunch and dinner, it was always either rice, beans and yam, or swallow or farina. And come on, cheap or Shoot. Sometimes we would run out of water. Sometimes on a school day, whenever I would be short on water to bath, I would have to do rub and shine. Because if you were ever late for morning assembly, morning prayer, we're gonna get that ass tatted. And God forbid ever needing to take a shower with a lantern. Like whenever Nepa would take the light, which is often with that school, instead of them to provide us with a generator, they force us to provide ourselves with our own lantern to do things like study, eat, and shower. It was unacceptable how resourcefully insufficient that school was, because they were a boarding school. Boarding schools in Nigeria are considered to be rich schools. Like students that live in the school means that their family have money, you know? Coming from America, my mom could definitely afford to put me in a boarding school. I was considered a rich kid, a rich and spoiled Americana.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of enemies because of it. There's this one senior student at the school that seemed to just enjoy beating junior students. And as the disciplinary prefect, he had a license to punish us if he felt like we needed discipline. So there's this one time when I wore dirty socks to school. I wasn't really good at washing clothes with my hands just yet. So he told me if he ever sees me wearing dirty socks again, he's gonna deal with me. It happened again. He noticed it. And he pulled me aside after the assembly. I told him that I couldn't wash the socks the night before because we had run out of water. But he didn't care. He brought out this strong ass cane and he just started whooping me. After that, he just walked away and told me to go to class. So there were the students that didn't like me, and then there were the fake friends. I had a lot of Americanized snacks like Pop-Tarts, Doritos, stuff like that. Let me tell you, the guys at that school were so annoyingly persistent. They do not know how to take no for an answer. Like, whenever I would decline to share my snacks with them, they'll either start begging or guilt trip or make me feel guilty. They used to work on me at first. Once I caught on to their BS, I was like, not anymore. Unfortunately for me, I was so careless I couldn't help myself. I lost a lot of my things trying to be responsible. Like I would lose my bucket, my school books, even the padlock to lock my cupboard. And they took advantage of it. They would constantly steal my things. And then they'll try to play me for a fool, say things like, Duga, you took some of that your biscuits. You're very sweet too. And I'm like, I would warn them constantly to respect my property. But they wouldn't listen.
I wanted to whoop their ass so many times, but I didn't because it wasn't out of self-defense.
And I didn't want to snitch on them either because I'm not a snitch. Never have been. But I needed them to respect my property.
So I said, the next person that steals from me, I'm snitching on. I don't care who it is.
That person is going to be very unlucky.
So then it happened again.
One morning,
Two idiots run up to me all smiling and happy and whatnot, talking about something. Udo, you took some of that what's that thing they call it mouthwash. You know, our mouths are smelling. We really need this. Hope you don't mind. I was heated. I was like, what? Man, that's it, man. Get out of my way, dog. I was heated, you know? And then they were really trying to calm me down and like reason with me, but I was not trying to hear it. So later that morning, I went to the principal's office.
and I told the principal.
She said she'll take care of it. And I was like, all right, cool. The next morning, in front of the entire school, she brings out the teacher with muscle to beat the mess out of both of them on their knees in front of the entire school.
Just to send a message that stealing would not be tolerated.
I tried to tell my schoolmates that I had no idea it was going to go down like that.
I wanted her to deal with them in private, not in front of the entire school. That's humiliating.
But they didn't believe me. At that point, everybody hated me at the school. I was the most hated student.
The only person that I still had to care for me was the school mentor. So during enrollment, me and my mom met the school mentor, and she was nice.
My mom asked her personally to take extra care of me, and she did. She took more care of me than she did the other students.
A lot of times she'll share her food with me, especially like on days that I didn't eat lunch or dinner.
Students at the school, we had to take cold water showers, but she would warm hot water for me every morning just so I could enjoy warm water showers. She would even let me come to her room and watch TV with her occasionally whenever my schoolmates wouldn't allow me to play soccer with them.
Because I wasn't good at it yet.
She really went out of her way to take care of me without asking for anything in return. I really appreciated her because of it.
But then the worst happened.
So one day I stupidly left my hot warm bucket of water on the 10th floor, and two guys that's had it out for me since day one, they found out about it, and that's when they realized that she's been boiling hot water for me the entire time.
So
They went to her to try to get her to boil hot water for them as well. And when she declined, they accused her of favoritism towards me and brainwashed her into thinking that I thought of her as like my maid or servant. She was livid. I tried to explain to her that wasn't the case, but it didn't work.
So the next morning, hoping that she wouldn't be mad anymore, I went to her room to get some hot water, because I needed that shit. So I go to her door.
Her assistant opens the door, and he's telling me that she don't want to see me. I'm trying to tell cuz, man, just let me talk to her. Let me see her. She overhears my voice and she yells, "Look at my girl!"
I didn't even bother trying again after that. I took that cold shower for the first time, and it was like hell done froze up on me.
I could just feel the anger and hurt in her voice when she yelled.
And that's when I knew that she was done with me. The only person that still cared for me in the school cared no more.
After that, I knew that I was done with that school.
And I had to go. I want some wine. You want some wine?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'll get it. Here you go. Alright. So after I talked on the phone with my mom about everything that happened, she assured me that I will be changing schools. Just not immediately because she has to come back down to Nigeria to look for a new one. So I ended up doing one more semester there, but this time as a day student. So I lived with my mom's sister for that summer and the rest of that year. So one day after a visit to the doctors with my aunt, on our way back to the bus stop, we had got stopped by a large crowd of people. So as we were waiting for the crowd to clear up, I noticed that there was a DVD shop next to us. So I spent like 30 seconds looking at the DVDs that they had there. I turned back around, looked for my aunt, and she was gone. As much as I wanted to shout her name out to find her, I didn't want people to know that I was lost. But I was so scared that day. If you would have saw the look on my face, you would know it. So I was thinking to myself, what do I do? What do I do? I decided to go back to the hospital. I felt safe there. And I was thinking that they could call my aunt. So as I'm running, it was like a spirit was guiding me back there. I never stopped to think whether I was going the right way or not. I was way too scared to. I was thinking like the moment I stop, I'm gonna get kidnapped. So I'm like, nah, I kept running. So when I made that last turn and I saw that the hospital was in sight, it was like looking at the finish line of a race. So I was running as fast as I could. So I made it to the hospital and the doctors quickly bring me in, asking me what happened, where's your aunt? Trying to catch my breath, I told them that I got lost. They're like calling her phone several times, but it keeps on going straight to voicemail. And I'm like, why now of all times is she not answering her phone? Next thing you know, she walks in, and I'm like, thank God. Like the doctors asked her what happened. She said that she didn't know that I wasn't following her anymore until she turned around. She also said that her phone had died. That's why she wasn't picking up our phone calls. She hoped that I would be at the hospital. And I was. Let me tell you, I
hugged my aunt so tightly, I did not let her go. From the hospital all the way back to the bus stop, during the bus ride home, all the way home. I was not going to get lost again. I lived in Enugu State, by the way, in a city called Chansikulu. Have you heard of it? In the fall of that year, my grandma,
That was living with us for a couple of years in America before I left, I returned to Nigeria. Now, the original plan was for her to come back with the rest of the family in December, but she wanted to come back a couple months sooner. When she came back, everybody was just so happy to see her.
I used to think that my grandma was just so mean to us in America. But after seeing how beloved she was in the community, I realized she's not mean. She's very loving. And she just had my best interest at heart, you know? So later that December, my family returned and I saw them for the first time since the previous summer. I was so happy to see them. I was like, this Christmas is about to be lit. But then grandma got sick. For the past couple of years, grandma has been dealing with diabetes.
The weeks leading up to Christmas, the diabetes had gotten worse.
I visited her in the hospital and everybody said that she was gonna be all right. I'm like, all right, cool. So during the week of Christmas, the adults, they decided to go on a road trip and they promised us that they'll be back before Christmas. Christmas Eve came, they didn't come. Christmas Day came, they still didn't come. At the time, we were saying that this is the worst Christmas ever. We had no idea how right we were.
The next day after Christmas, I heard my mom, my aunt, and a lot of other people crying.
And I asked them, what's wrong?
They told me that Grandma's dead. She died on Christmas Eve.
I just could not believe that because I just saw her in the hospital the other day and they told me that she was gonna be all right.
I couldn't come to the terms with the fact that she was gone, so I didn't even cry. At her burial a couple weeks later, when I saw her in that coffin, I had never seen anything like it. Her body was decayed, and her eyes were closed. And that just I was trying to wipe my tears quickly before anybody could see them, but they just would not stop running. I was so disrespectful and ungrateful to her when she was with us in America. She didn't deserve it. And I wanted to treat her better and show her my appreciation. The fact that she died before I got a chance to do that is what hurt even more. You know, it's scary. The way it all went down.
From when she decided to return to Nigeria sooner than the summer to the day she gained her wings and flew to heaven. It was almost as if she knew she was going to die when she did. It's scary. I just wish I had known at the time. I would have done it.
After the burial, I told my mom that I was done. I'm done with Nigeria. I want to go back to America with you, Uju, Ifeanyi, and Obina, and live again like the good old days. Please. I can't take it here anymore. And my mom, she gave me a big hug. She held my hand, looked into my eyes, and said, I understand. We're all very sad that Grandma had passed away. But we have to be strong. Please, you have to be strong. I know you can do it. We were able to enroll you into a new school, and this is a much better school than the last one. Your 2 years is almost up. Just 6 months left. Finish the last 6 months of the school year strong, and I promise you'll be back in America with me and your siblings. As soon as she made that promise, I just put my head down. Then she gently lifted my head up from my chin and said, trust me, I promise. By this summer, you'll be back in America. She gave me a kiss and said she loved me. Took a deep breath and said I love her too. So I started at my new school called Our Lord Shepherd Secondary School, and it was a much better school than the last one. The uniforms were cool, the feeding was great, there was always a great constant supply of water. They provided us with a generator, this time instead of lanterns, whenever NEPA would take the light, which is rare too, by the way. Their population was small, but it wasn't a big deal to me because there was a lot of other Americans over there, too.
There was a lot of them actually, and we got along rather well. And no student, senior or junior, no student was allowed to whoop anybody, flick anybody. Only the teachers and staff were allowed to flick people. Now apparently this is the rule in all the Nigerian schools.
But for some reason, Rise and Shine didn't get the memo. Our Lord Shepherd had really good morals and ethics.
And unlike Rise and Shine,
my schoolmates at Our Lord Shepherd, they gave me a chance to actually play soccer with them.
And not only did I realize that I was really good at playing goalie, I ended up being the best goalie in the dance school. Yeah. I really enjoyed my time at that school. It made the last 6 months of my time in Nigeria
fun. So, in the summer of 2006, I returned back to America. And when the plane landed and I saw the soil, American soil, I was like, I'm home. It had been so long since I've been back. And I was seeing everybody in America again for the first time. They were so happy to see me, and I was so happy to see them too. It was great to be back.
Wow, your story is so inspiring and moving. I know it's going to touch a lot of people. Like I said, you have a heart of a champion. Life is dark, but your future is bright.